Hi everyone, Pam Geard speaking from my home in Christchurch, doing part 2 of our Getting Started training this Sunday night, 8 o'clock to 8:30, and just wanted to say well done on those people who've got along this evening. I appreciate you taking the time out, and it really is invaluable for you going forward to take this time to get the training, to get your mindset right so that you can get success. And that's what we all want for you, is to get success. So just to reiterate, I'm just going to share my screen with you. Okay, so just to reiterate, hopefully that comes through all right. You can see here, I talk about the OTG Global System 7 that we use to get ourselves started. And you can see here on the System 7 workflow, the 7 things that we do to help people get started and to get success, and this is a system that works. Those people who follow the system get success every single time. Okay, so last week we covered off what you needed to do to get started. So we got you to write some goals for the week. We did some follow-up work with that on Wednesday night, got you to make your contact list, and we got you to start inviting and to work on an invite that suits you. Right? Now, just to recap around the invite, I suggested that you might like to use what I use, which is CODD, where you pay a compliment to the person that you're talking to. You state your objective, which could be something like you're expanding your network or you're helping to bring innovative technology to market, that there is a lot of significant dollars to be had by those who want to join the team, and that you're looking for smart people to work with. Then you do a disclaimer. So the first D is for a disclaimer, and it might be for you, it might not. That's a very simple disclaimer to use. And then the last D is for a date. And so you set a time when they would be free to have a look at some information. Okay, so that was the invite that we worked on last week. Wednesday night we did an accountability on that and how it was going, and we got some really good feedback that those people who went out and used the invite were actually getting appointments. Yay, that's exactly what we want to happen. Now, if you found that when you tried to do an invite, or when you did an invite, that you were getting objections, it means that you were saying way too much in your invite. All right? So the invite is purely inviting someone to ask if they're open to taking a look at some information, whether it's about bringing new technology to market, whether it's about creating extra cash flow, whether it's about feeling, looking, performing better. Whatever it is your invite is about has to be to the point, and are they open to taking a look at some information? If you're giving any more than that, then that opens up room for them to raise objections. So if you're finding that you're getting objections, and whether those might be around, is it one of those pyramid things? Whether it might be, I don't have time for anything these days. I don't do sales. I don't know anybody. Okay, now those are typically the 4 objections you get the most. If you're getting them at the invite stage, we need to go back to the drawing board and look at your invite and reframe it a little bit. Okay, so you want to give a preview to the movie. You don't want to give the whole movie away in the invite, or you're ruining what the presentation is going to do. The presentation does the work for you. All you're doing is inviting people who are open-minded to take a look at it. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you are getting lots of objections from your invite, go back to the person who is your direct sponsor or somebody upline, and have a chat to them about how you can tweak that so that it is more business-like, so that you get less objections from it. Okay? Because at the end of the day, all we're looking for are people who are open-minded enough to take a look at. Hang on, I'm just going to mute you, Tans. There we go, muted. So just so that that's what we're looking for right now. We can't make, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So there's no point in talking to people who aren't open-minded or who aren't looking for something right now. Okay, and so that brings us along to if you've invited them to take a look at some information, what comes next? What do you give them to look at, right? So if we follow the System 7 workflow in the OTG Global page, so this is the Fast Start book I'm working through that you can see me flicking through now on your screen. Now I'm going to flick through here to get to that. So here's the invite. Now I have suggested that you use CODD as a way of complement, objective, disclaimer, date, as a way to get the words flowing for you. I find it simple, I find it easy to remember, and it works really, really well. One of the things it does note here is that we're looking for people who are positive, honest, they're doers, they're people who are open, they're willing to learn, they're nice people. We don't want to be offering this to people who aren't nice or don't have integrity or are lazy, because lazy people won't do this, won't do what it takes. Okay. Now, going through here, we talk about handling objections. And like I said, if you're getting objections at the invite stage, you're saying too much in your invite. All right. But if you're sitting down and you're presenting some information and then you're getting objections, that's a good sign. It means that they've got questions, which means that they've been thinking about it. Okay. So I'm just going to flick through some things that we use to present the information. Now, I would suggest that if you're going to use OTG, if you're talking to young people around social selling, this little snippet, and I'll just hang on, I'll just go there to play it for you, is really good, in my opinion. Oops, sorry, we'll just stop that. Okay, so that is at social.otg.global, and that's a really good short little snippet under 2 minutes that you can send them as a teaser to see if they're interested in looking at some more information. Now, I would suggest that that you send them that to start with, if they're kind of young, into social media, that kind of thing. If they're not, the other thing to send them to is the, hang on, let me find the right one, is NSintro.com. It flicks through to this one here, nsinsider.com/intro. But if you go www.nsintro.com, it brings up the same video. Now, this is a wee 5-minute video. It talks more around, one of the things, ladies, to note is that it's a man speaking. And that's sometimes really good if you're talking to males, to give them somebody who is male presenting the information to them. It helps open up their brain to hear the information better. But it's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes in someone's day to take a look. So in terms of following up, and I'll say to you, make sure you put a note down to follow people up within 24 to 48 hours. But if we're talking about a clip that's under 2 minutes and a clip that's under 5 minutes, there's no reason you can't say to them, hey, have a look at lunchtime and I'll call you tonight after work. Or, hey, have a look at on your way home after work and I'll call you at 6 o'clock. We've got to get a lot faster at our follow-ups, and the follow-ups are key. You've done all that work to do the invite. Don't lose the warm contact by not following up within 24 to 48 hours. Okay, it's really important that when you follow up, you do a few things as well. So I hope you've got your pens and pencils ready, guys. So when you follow people up, so you've sent them either the wee short social media. If they're wanting some more information, you can send them the 5-minute. Then if you want to, you can send them to gjparrot.com, which is Graham's and Jane's website, which has got a couple of the same 5-minute. It's got another little 2-minute, but it's also got Robert Kiyosaki, and it's got some other conference call to listen to down on the left-hand side there. It also introduces Graham as a business mentor who's experienced and is creating his own independent income. So he's good to use because then we can use him as a third party when we're talking to people, especially males, to bring them in and alongside so that they can, if we ever get a chance to speak with Graham as well. All right. So those are the 3 that I use. So that's the social.otg.global, the www.nsintro.com, and Graham and Jane's gjparrot.com. Okay, I use those 3 to send people to. I think if they aren't showing any signs of interest after the first couple, then there probably isn't much point in going any further with them. What I would say, though, is when you ring them to follow them up, there's a few things to remember to do, okay? And that would be, so in terms of doing the presentation, I tend to, when I'm inviting people to look at some info, I will send them one of those short clips. Then when I follow up, the first question I ask is, did you see it? Okay, I know it's only 2 minutes long. I know it's only 5 minutes long. Doesn't mean to say that they've actually taken the time to see it. So the first question you ask is, hey, how did you get on? Did you see that short clip I sent through? Now, if they've said no, say, hey, go watch it now. I'll call you back in half an hour. This is really important, all right? Because the importance you put on it will be the importance they put on it. They don't know what they're looking at yet. You do, okay? So put some importance around that. Say, go and watch it now, and I'll call you back in 15 minutes. How does that work? Right? So you get them pinned down to watch it. Then when you call it back, did you see it? Did it make sense? So you've got to ask them, did it make sense? Because if it didn't make any sense to them, then there's no point in saying anything else, is it? So I always ask those 2 questions. And then the third question that I ask is, from what you've seen, would you say you were more interested in 1, using the products, or 2, using the products and maybe sharing them to earn a few extra dollars to pay for your products, or 3, setting up a distribution channel to earn a few $1,000s a month, or 4, helping other people to do the same thing to make $5,000 plus a month? Which one appealed to you more? 1, use it yourself. 2, use it and share it. 3, set up a distribution channel. Or 4, make the big money. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's simple, isn't it? Make it as simple as possible. Okay, from the answer that they give you, you then know what the next conversation is that you steer them towards. Okay, now if it's just a product, or if they want to just use the product and share it with someone else, you want to get them in front of a product demo as quickly as you possibly can. So make another appointment. Right, so from every appointment you have with somebody, you make the next appointment within that time frame, so that you're constantly re-engaging and making the next appointment. All right, so the appointment will either be a product demonstration, if it's for 1 and 2, or if it's for 3 and 4, it's a product demonstration with a built-in getting started and getting them an account and getting them some products for their own use. And then we sit down and we go back to the basics. Hang on, let me just get my little of our basics of writing their goals. Writing their goals, making a list of contacts, and helping them with their invite. All right, and that's important because you've invited them, so you know how to do that, so you can share that much with them. All right, and then now you know what to present. So we've got lots of different choices depending on what you want to focus on, but those little snippets are really good little teasers to open people's mind to seeing what they can do. Okay, and the follow-up. So that's the follow-up. I find out where they're at, and then it dictates which direction you go in. Now, if they've seen the information and you've had a chat with them and you've sent them some more information and you're following up on that and they're saying, oh yeah, well, I'm a good gauge is for you to ask them 1 to 10, 10 being fantastic, let's get started, 1 being nah, not interested. Getting a gauge of where they're at, and getting them to give you a number is really helpful. So if they're 6 or 7, what would take you to an 8 or a 9? Okay, if they're a 7 and 8, they're already interested. They just don't know it yet. Okay, and so then it's just a case of getting them in front of the product, getting them some results, and showing them some testimonials. A couple of the things with handling objections when you're doing a follow-up, and I would recommend that you always at some point tie in a 3-way call. And 3-way calls are something that we haven't been promoting as much as we should have been, but the power in a 3-way call is huge. To be honest, you guys don't know enough yet. And when you're starting somebody new, they know nothing, and they don't need to know nothing because they learn as they go, but they will learn from more experienced people handling the objections for them. That's how they learn going forward. So what you really want to do is make sure that you've got somebody, your upline, somebody further up the food chain from you that has more experience, that can be a 3-way call with that person you're following up once you've qualified them as having seen the information and they're interested to do something about the business. Okay, and what I would probably touch on just before we finish, they might say no, and that's cool. That's cool, because the best thing you can say is, hey, thank you for your time. The timing's not right for everyone, and I appreciate that. And here's 3 things you want to do. You say, 1, would you mind if I just stayed in touch? If something changes or something comes up, maybe drop you an email every 6 months or so, just to keep you in the loop. Would that be okay? Okay, so you've got their approval to follow them up and keep them connected. You'll also say, hey, well, look, you'll appreciate that we work by word of mouth, and so referrals are really important to us. Would you mind putting your thinking cap on, and maybe there's some people you know that are currently looking to create some extra income or have some health issues that maybe we can help with. Okay, so 1, you've got permission to follow them up. 2, you're asking for referrals. And the 3rd thing you always want to say is, hey, look, I'm sure you'll be like everybody else that I talk to, and they want to feel better, look better, and perform better. You might be interested in taking a look at our AgeDoc platform of products that could be helpful to you. Would that be of interest to you? Can I send you some information? Or do you have anything specifically that you're interested in? Okay, so you're looking to get them exposed to the products, you're looking for referrals, and you're looking to get permission to follow them up. That's from 1 no. All right, so it's never a no, it's just a not now. So you're going to stay in touch with those people in a nice, light way, or you're going to convert them to a customer, or you're going to get referrals from them and then potentially help them get started with referrals from the sharing bonus. Alrighty, so that's really important to understand, that there is a process with a no. It's not just a no and walk away. Ask for some help. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is with objections. And I'll come back and reiterate this on Wednesday night when we do our follow-up and accountability, because I still want you guys to go out now and do 10 invites between now and Wednesday. And I want you to come back, and there is no judgment about it. Whether you can get 1 done or whether you can get 10 done, or whether you get 15 or 20 done, fantastic. The challenge is really to get out there and be accountable to yourself and your business. And I'm only here to help give you a nudge in that direction. So I'd really appreciate, I'm taking the time out to help you guys get started. It's up to you to choose to do that. I can't make you, but I can only encourage you that there is, if you think about the worst thing that could possibly go wrong, well, it might be a no, right? And so are you going to die from a no? You're not, are you? So why not give it a crack and see what happens? Because guess what? Actually, you might get a yes. And how exciting would that be if you got a yes from an invite that you've taken all of this time, have the courage to go and put out there. So I challenge you all to go out and do 10 more invites this week. See you back on Wednesday night for a bit of an accountability around how that went. Now you know what information to send them, so you're finding out if they're open to looking at some information. You've got the information to send them now, so that's really cool. If you've got meetings going on in your local area, invite people to go along to those with you, and set the time for the follow-up. Now, the follow-up, if you get objections at the follow-up around, I don't have any time. Now, how many people have heard that in the past, I don't have any time? And that's a really common one. And the trouble is, these days, how is that going to change for you? So how much time do you think that this business will take? And if you don't make some changes now, how will you have more time in the future? So time is really important, because busy people get things done as well. So if I could show you a way where you could spend half an hour a day to create a leveraged income where you've got money coming in from half an hour a day, would you take the time to sit down and have a more in-depth conversation with me? Okay, because I think half the time with people, when they use time as an objection, they've been caught up in that little rat race where the busier you are, or the busier you are seen to be, it seems to be some kind of social status these days. And I would challenge that thinking that that is actually poo-hoo. It's poo-hoo. It's people getting caught up in busyness and they're not actually taking time out to smell the roses. So if we can show people a way and handle that objection, would they be open to hearing some more information in terms of how they could create some income that wasn't based around time? So that's how to get around the time objection. Is that one of those pyramid things? Now, I'm sure a show of hands would probably tell me that just about everybody I know that is in direct sales or network marketing has had an objection more than once around pyramid selling. Just to be clear, pyramid selling is illegal. It has been outlawed around the world, and it is illegal. Nu Skin is a direct sales company that uses a network marketing or multi-level marketing payment scheme system, and it is not illegal. We are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, which makes us very accountable and very, very clear, very transparent. Okay, so our business activity is very transparent, and you can go at any point and look at our track record through the stock exchange. So you just need to clarify, when people say, is that a pyramid scheme? Ask them, what do you mean by a pyramid scheme? And then shut up. Wait for them to reply, because they may or may not have had some experience, but it could be that they've heard about Auntie Floss talking about Amway from the old days, and they've got absolutely no idea of what Amway is in terms of a multi-level marketing company, or of what Nu Skin is in terms of a direct sales company. So get them to clarify. And if they say, yes, well, I've been involved with those things in the past, so what's been your level of exposure? Which company were you involved with? Did you get support around that? So you'll understand that pyramid schemes are illegal. What we are doing is we're a branch of the direct sales industry. And so to clarify that and bring it back to, but professionally, without any emotion, is that's our job. It's our job to raise awareness around those people in the marketplace who have no idea about our industry yet. Okay? So our job is to raise awareness for them ongoing. And even if all we do, you may never get rid of that bug off their windscreen. That's cool, but at least we can give them information and keep it in a nice way that, well, look, hey, if I can show you this or I can show you that will help to answer your objection, would you be open to having a conversation around how we can create some extra income for you or extra cash flow for you? So always bringing it back to, if we can handle your objection and give you enough information, would you be open to hearing some more information about how we can create you some extra cash flow or extra time? It might be time that people want, and they're not worried about the money. I don't do sales. Now, that'll be another one I'm sure everybody's heard. I would challenge you all that you all sell something at some point in your life, whether it's yourself, whether it's your services, whether it's a product. We all at some point sell ourselves as employees. As an employee, you are selling your time. So you are selling something. But how many times, in and around that, how many times do you go out and have dinner with your girlfriends, or blokes, you're out somewhere and you're having a beer and you tell them about a good pub to go to? We all network and we all share good experiences. We also share much more bad experiences. So you've got to be very careful. But when we share a good experience and we get people to go along to somewhere like a new cafe or go and see a movie or read a book, do we get rewarded for that? No, we don't. And so here's the bite. What is wrong with being rewarded for sharing something good with your friends to give them something good to go and do or try as well? Now, if we owned a business, a traditional business, let's say a cafe, would you not expect your friends to come in and buy from you at the price on the product in the store? Would you not expect that? Hey guys, come and see my special this week. I've got cream cakes on special. Love to see you come and have a coffee with me at my shop. So that's no different than what we've got, except that our business, our shop is online. So get your head straight around what you've got a hold of, because that will make a massive difference in how you approach people. You are selling yourself short if you think that you don't have something that is very special and unique. Okay, so sales is I will always say, hey, great, I am not a salesman. I don't want to talk to, or I don't really want to recruit salesmen, because you make one sale, you've got to go out and make another sale the next day. What I'm looking for is smart people who get a good opportunity where we can all share some really great products and all create some extra cash flow. Big difference from just going out and flogging off a few products. Big difference. Okay, now the last thing I'll just touch on, I've got no time left. I don't know anyone. Okay, cool. Well, I would challenge you to bring out your phone and show me your contact list on your phone. How many people are in there? And how many people in the world, and how many people have you yet to meet? And how determined are you to make that extra $5,000 a month, if that means going out and talking to one new person a day? Now, that could be through social media. It could be through going to different events. It could just be learning how to smile and say hello to people when you go out and about. You'll be amazed at how quickly people will respond when you give them a smile and you say, hi, how's your day going? And if you're really scared or shy or fearful about doing that, I challenge you to try it. I haven't been punched in the nose yet, okay? Hand on heart, I have not yet been punched in the nose for smiling and saying, hi, how are you doing? And I've been around a long time and I smile at a lot of people. And a smile can make someone's day, okay? And if that's what it takes for you to go practice that this for the next 3 days. Come back and tell me how you got on Wednesday night. If that's the first step for you in breaking the ice of meeting new people, okay? Be the first to smile and say hello, and see how many people smile and say hello back. Okay, so that's my challenge for you. We'll do a bit more of a accountability and wind up on Wednesday for those who can get along. And I will not be putting the Wednesday night recordings up, because that's you've got to make the effort. I'm making an effort to help you guys. I want to see you guys making an effort back. And so hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. And I'll send the link out in New Morning Start on Wednesday morning for that. Okay, and keep an eye out for the upcoming meetings that are going to be in Invercargill and Dunedin and Christchurch in the next week or so. All right, great to have you all along, and go out and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening and prepare for the upcoming week. Okay, see you later. Bye now.